Alright, here's your man Skinny G. He's gonna read his dissertation to B. Not likely, can you see? Alright, here we go. This is gonna be long as hell. I need some drink. Alright, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing, guys. This is the end game for me, guys. I had a true and apparent spiritual awakening. We call it absolute divine intervention. What happened the other day changed me. Permanently for the better, too. God seriously answered a prayer for me when I was at my absolute lowest point in my life, addiction-wise, with crystallized methamphetamine hydrochloride through every route of administration imaginable, intranasally, orally, vaporization, and final step, intravenous injection. Most horrible / best thing that came into my life in January of 2013. Let me explain that before it's misconstrued / misinterpreted. When I first experienced it, I was in one of my most depressed, beaten, and miserable states of mind, and life was at its absolute worst. When a 4.5-year relationship with my ex-baby mama, Elena, and I grew apart and separated probably for the better. It's hard. However, I was about 25 or 26 years old, and I was so much more young and dumb, with lack of comprehension, proper analysis / decision-making, and most importantly, I had a total and utter lack of impulsive / compulsive. I had a total utter lack of balance. I had total utter lack. And young. Okay, I was so much more young and dumb with lack of comprehension, proper analysis / decision making, and most importantly, I had a total and utter lack of impulsive / compulsive faculties in order of a total state of homeostasis or a perfect united balance. So I was introduced to the two most hardcore mentally / physically addictive and lethal drugs out there, which happen to be diacetylmorphine hydrochloride or heroin, and also crystal meth. Unfortunately, the worst and perfect time simultaneously. Call it another conundrum. Now heroin, when actively used, is a mind-numbing, anesthesia-feeling vibe and an analgesic hold / grip that just incapacitates the mind, body, and soul. So the overall intelligence, self-presentation, and application in reality is little to futile to completely non-existent, and the ability to possess self-awareness and personal accountability is never much of an option on a drug and a whore of a molecular organic compound. To me, at least, overall, throughout my addiction to heroin followed said sequential sequence. But don't get me started on crystal meth now. That this is one of the most neurotoxic, lethal, hazardous, completely destructive force of a compound of a pharmacological nature on mankind itself and humanity itself, and it's ruined the lives of many men and women and families and children of all different genders and breeds and ethnicities. And there is no racial bias, discrimination, or of a prejudice-based determination, demonic-like possession of a mental addiction as almost an immediate event within the first use of crystal meth itself. Among the brand new user, and it never discriminates whether you're poor, rich, young, / dumb. It will take you to an institution of a correctional / rehabilitation-based principles and applications directed to the sick / diseased mind of addiction that's just like mine. Anyway, I got hooked on the first ingestion of any meth of intranasal appropriation. Anyway, I was dead inside already, metaphorically speaking, and it just made me feel alive, insanely intelligent, philosophical, poetic, scientifically and mathematically even more of a perfectionist professional prodigy such as myself. JK, just kidding, or so I once was, no more. However, I was never your typical methamphetamine header user. My comparison, comprehension, analytical mental proprieties, confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, ambitious / motivated, socially amazing / annoying, but most importantly, deeply real, honest, genuine, and profound / professional presentation. Now it activates the adrenergic receptor, which is essentially a release of adrenaline, norepinephrine, and dopamine, and floods serotonin, all the feel-good pleasure center chemicals that we all know and love. Jesus Christ. Every time I did it, all I did was analyze myself to a very microscopic degree that is so in-depth. It's not funny, safe, and anything but normal. Laugh out loud. It could get so analytical and so deeply I'm a screaming desperation of an overanalyzed version of the world around me, and my self-awareness was beyond amazingly accurate, dependable, and just always understanding anything and everything about life and the life we don't see of the metaphysical, paranormal, spiritual realm, as well as photographic memory capacity that were all automated to the ability to learn quickly, much faster to a freaking level of efficiency, and just my overall performance of anything I did was more efficient, more profound. just easier and efforts in. Every way became less physical exertion, less everything, and I had the energy of a fucking 18-year-old. That was like high caffeine. And it even had the ability of heightening all 5 senses, 6 for me, and all senses of the human body to the near spidey senses tingling like vibes/level. And most importantly, it made me really understand myself. It really made me unrepress a lot of formerly, most importantly, it made me really understand myself and really made me unrepress a lot of formerly repressed memories. This is something that it does, which is considered a phenomenal occurrence, that even the use/assistance of a psychotherapy session lasted a couple of decades, haven't been able or proven to be able to accomplish as well to a almost perfect mechanism of action, such as crystal did for me. It is a compound of C10N. It is a compound of C10H15N, empirical formula of a pharmacological nature has done for me. It was a search that to me was always essentially a tool for self-discovery, learning, and mastering my own psyche abilities in the universe around myself, and even to some degree the spiritual realm. Because I've always had, known, and I've been equipped with the ability to possess empathic qualities. Such abilities as a Mangano family gift from God, probably originally from the Palladino side, my mom's side. That was the peasant gift my mom essentially unknowingly gave to all my siblings as well. But within me, it has become extremely heightened and stronger and much more mastered throughout the years of various psychoactive drug abuse. Before meth, I didn't completely know myself, understand myself, accept myself, and love myself, and understand the world around me and the people in this terrestrial blue planet of a Marvel-like depiction we all live on and call in or around the Barred Spiral Milky Way galaxy, also a secondary home. To me, the ability was well-defined/developed, or I could be able to read the people around me so effortlessly, without them ever opening their mouths, through the very gift of empathy, of reading their own invisible to the naked eye energies, and their nonverbal communication, and their own invisible to the naked eye energies, and their nonverbal communication, and their nonverbal cues and signals, / mannerisms, that I pick up on from a mile away, because I have been able to master my abilities. However, I was always a sucker as well, and I could always see the beauty and the good and the inner workings and the intentions of the definitions of character of a human being to human being more easily and efficiently and without effort, or without choice, more than the average human being could. I mean, hell, I could even find the beauty in something as hideously ugly and disfigured as something as a compound like methamphetamine. That's a beautiful gift / curse also, and attacking them. So I can easily pick up on people's intentions, and I can read people very intuitively and very deeply down to the script or deoxyribonucleic acid, also a double-stranded helix. I'm a fucking nerd, okay? Yeah. Oh my God. Crystal made me more socially active, more outgoing, so comfortable with myself. Zero anxiety, funny and adventurous, being the center of attention or craving the following and loving the social interaction. And all eyes on me with smooth, comfortable, verbal communication, both verbal and non-verbal, with both beautiful women. Made of sugar and spice and everything nice and sure, flirtatious, just charming, witty qualities I never had growing up. I was a complete introvert and a complete prisoner within my own mind and in my own body. Then I would spend essentially my whole existence just discovering who I am and why I am, my existential existence, even as in why my life is ever even existing with me in it to begin with. I was always in a personal war with myself ever since I was a child, and I always was just constantly frustrated, confused, bewildered, and misguided, and misdirected in my complete intentions and directional route in life itself. Almost like my whole birth / procreation reproduction process. Whatever was inopportune. Oh my God, whatever was inopportune in nature of, or in every sense of the word, all the way up until when I dropped out of high school into the first quarter of my senior year just to get my GED diploma. Instead, by the end of the year as well. So drugs themselves and the super psychoactive ones, from psychedelics to the central nervous system stimulants such as my drug of choice, methamphetamine, and its miraculous transformation of who I really am. A.M. And me knowing that means I really am made / I completed me. It's who I am today. As a person who does love themselves, accept themselves, known as thyself. I am completely self-aware of everything about myself, to a physical and metaphysical, to have even started vastly and greatly the spiritual realm itself. I am just fucking completely happy with who I am in terms of my social interactions, relationships with both the living and spirits that I've always sensed in my childhood home. Now, I still now, again, reside with happiness, contentment, and fulfillment. It's mostly based on how I treated others and how I reacted to their whole life interactions, both individualized / personalized to a group of multiple pure settings, which was wishes of their good fortune, future fortune, with personalized to a group of multiple pure settings, which was, oh God, hold on, with nothing but kindness, caring, and never anything threatening and or violent and or aggressive in nature. Oh, I need a break. Ah! It's so hard to read this. Oh my God, it's killing me, man. All right, let me try and finish this damn essay. Dissertation. All right, let's try and finish this thing. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, right. I have always sensed in my childhood home. I still now again reside at with happiness, contentment, and fulfillment. It's mostly based on how I treated others and how I reacted. Wait, how I reacted, where's that? I just saw that. How I reacted to their whole life interactions, both individualized / personalized to a group of multiple peer settings, which was wishes of their good future fortune, with nothing but kindness, caring, and never anything threatening, and or violent or aggressive in nature. There we go. So I never had to do meth every day, and I never did. I had a chill basis. It was only on a recreational, here and there, randomized, never itemized or planned basis of when I used, how I did, route of administration, when I decided it was time for another journey / voyage of self-discovery, understanding peace and acceptance normally throughout my life and the life in the universe itself around me. I've experienced every facet of methamphetamine intoxication / inebriation to the point. Hold on a second. I need drinks now. All right, right here. Yeah, I'm almost done. Okay. I have experienced every facet of methamphetamine intoxication / inebriation to the point where I've had complete amnesia, I've had psychotic breakdowns, I've had mental breakdowns, I've had psychosis, I've had some disorders that were classified as mental illnesses of a serious / detrimental, catastrophic, or atrocious classification. However, if all those negative reports of feedback that you just experienced from me, there's always the most pleasurable, positive, ambitious, determined, imaginative, excitably delicious, adventurous, never-ending quest for life itself, and every facet of life itself ever imaginable to me. I always took lots of important life lessons. Valuable, sentimental, nostalgic. Only information, both mentally and spiritually, and something else, even metaphysically, that you guys only can never try to imagine with the use of an aid and or neurotoxic pharmacological tool like this I thought at least. But please, don't use this anyway. Please, don't use this harmful substance if you haven't already. And if you have, reach out for help, because I'm starting to. Anyway, laugh out loud. To get to the fucking goddamn point of this fucking long novel, where I finally had my first, my last, and final experience with this drug. And I know in my heart it to be my last and final experience. I received a message from God himself. I received an answer to a prayer I made earlier in that very same day. And there was a very crystal clear and apparent desperation of a deteriorated physical imagery of my physical being and self. In my spiritual being, to all my fellow Facebookers, I do believe, laugh out loud, I was never hiding or ashamed of my addiction, but only instead ashamed of my counteractive positive solution to my addiction. There was still that rock bottom. So broken, so disturbing, so miserable, so done. I'm so desperate and so broken in nature to God's very godly, very gift of life and healing abilities and spiritual reconstructed, spiritual rebuilding and rebirth and evolvement of self and spirit and identity and whole new me / outlook and a whole new, profoundly noble, inspiring, and unconditional purpose in life now in my hands. And this message of hope, faith, and total, completely fulfillment of the empty void of almost 2 decades that lingered at down or sell that mystery precious, so great, nobody, anything, or anyone can never, ever go down there and get done what Crystal did to a once broken and forgotten human heart and soul I grudgingly carried without a choice. In the whole matter itself, shut up. From as early as 7 years old, I remember not knowing myself, my purpose, or my obligations / responsibilities to myself. I was shy, quiet, reserved, and a body language that screamed unapproachability to peers, girls, especially at first. Winky face. and new guy friends to a great extent. I was always in my own head. I didn't have a choice, and I always overanalyzed, overcomprehended, and always thought too deeply for my own good realistically, and drove myself crazy, and went off everybody's reputation, set standards of society, peers, and what people thought of me, what they said about me, and what they did determine as a group to be my shortcomings. It made me feel like an outsider, an experiment, and an overall mistake, mostly since my brain never stops going. I overall was one fucked up, lost, neurotic, and felt rejected by girls, always, his peers more frequently than not, and society. Hold up. I'm still going. And society. Wait, where's this at? Damn it. I think I lost it. Where did I... Oh, yeah. And society as a whole itself. Basically, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not scared of anything. I'm socially outgoing, philosophical, poetic, mathematical, quantitatively, and qualitatively, and a possible complete scientific prodigy. With proper guidance, direction, and lack of substance abuse disorder, such mental disorders. It may have been, or could have been, or should have been. I'm not going to get into it all the way. I want to finish this fucking post. But I found God. I said in my heart, He will fill the void. And I know now I am over this fucking devil of a fucking drug that wants to and has always had full custody / possession of my mind, body, and soul. It has destroyed me for so long. It destroyed me and tore me down too. I can't even describe in words anymore how aggressively, maliciously, and malevolently tore me to a broken, shattered, and pulverized, empty, lonely, and cold shell of myself. So many more times than I can remember, and now I feel whole again, and for once complete, for the first time in my life. Now, here's my final freestyle video while I'm driving to my Scott's Mazda dealership in Allentown on Lee High Street to get a car inspection while I was still unfamiliarized to a newfound, through God scared, lost, and terrified child from this final purchase quarter-gram of shitty life from methamphetamines via intravenous use only. Of course, in a mere 24 hours, and I know I finally am done. And that was the last of what I need to receive from Crystal Winter, vast array of mysterious cosmological or even astrological, like self-knowledge, information, and insight, and deep understandings of the universe and mentally complicated mental illnesses, inducing and profound lessons of life. And I am net shitty, crazy, and permanently retarded, and probably a little higher and spun out. So sorry, but I will do it better for all of you, my family. I love you all, and have a good day, motherfuckers!